Hello everyone, welcome back. This is David, and this afternoon I'm in my camper. Yes, I do have an RV. It's made by the same company that Sarasota Tim's is, a company called Forest River. This is a much smaller camper than Tim's big Crasher. This is a camper that's made by RPod. It's the RPod 171, about 19 feet long. You can stand up in it. It's very comfortable. My wife and I bought this just a little over a year ago. Anyway, I did spend the night in the camper here last night because it was about 70 degrees here in the Detroit area. And it was so nice. I just opened up the camper. I kind of took the cover off. We have it in storage here in our backyard, and I took the cover off, kind of cleaned it up a little bit, went through everything, and decided to sleep in it last night, and I slept very well. I'll do more about the camper another time, but I've been planning to do another follow-up video about Sarasota Tim. I mentioned in my previous video that he was listed as one of my favorite YouTube channels, and that's still true. However, he posted a video earlier this afternoon, maybe a few hours ago, again talking about retirement at 62, why everybody should take retirement at 62, get out of their prison jobs, set themselves free. He said the only people that shouldn't take retirement at 62 are people that make $1 million. And of course, people that make $1 million a year should never take retirement, should never collect Social Security. It's ridiculous. But there's a couple of things I wanted to address with what Sarasota Tim said. He said everybody should retire at 62. And I think that's a ridiculous statement to make, and I think it's very dangerous to just blindly follow his advice. Maybe for you, it might make sense to take retirement at 62. It obviously did for Sarasota Tim. It did for me, but my circumstances were, unique to me. So I think if anybody's pondering whether they should retire at 62, wait to 65, maybe wait till they're 67 or 70. That's a decision that you have to make depending on your circumstances. You want to look at, obviously, all of your finances, all of your monthly expenditures, what lifestyle you want to maintain. And to just quit your job and blindly take retirement at 62 and get a side hustle at, as Sarasota Tim calls it, what are you going to make in 20 hours? You'll probably be working a $10 or $15 an hour job, or maybe working at Walmart's. You might even see Tim at Walmart's. So you have to make your own best decision. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you do what I say, or what Sarasota Tim says, or anybody on YouTube says. My advice would be, if you have the resource, to get a good financial plan or a good financial advisor and have them help you if you can't figure it out for yourself. So I think it's very dangerous for us to just blindly follow somebody and not really look at our own unique circumstances, because we all have unique circumstances. The other thing that I wanted to address that Sarasota Tim has said many times before he, and I know sometimes he jokes about it and says, I'm just joking, but he says it over and over again. He says this term, prison jobs. Now, this is kind of offensive to me because, it's just propaganda. It's just him and other people that might be trying to tell us that, we have prison jobs. Now, I worked for over 30 years in an office for various companies, doing pretty much the same thing, just at a couple of different companies. I never thought of my job as a prison job. Now, I didn't necessarily love my job. There were days that I was excited to go to work. I did like the people that I worked with, but there were also days that I dreaded going to work, but I never thought of it as a prison job. And, you know, I think whatever job we have, if we think that we're in prison, then we're in prison because we think it up here. This is the only place that we can be in prison in our minds. You know, if you don't like your job, you're free to change jobs. You're free to quit your job and go find another job, or go find another job and then quit your job. You're also free to change careers. We're all free to go back to school, learn a different trade, learn a different, have a different career path. So if we think about it like that, there really are no prison jobs. We're free to make choices. We all are our own choice makers. So we can make decisions for ourselves. We can decide if a job is right for us. If we're not happy, we can change jobs. It's just like if we were actually locked up in prison and we only get to go out to eat, they open up the cage door and let us out to eat, maybe let us walk around the yard a little bit, and then we'd lock us back up. That's prison. But imagine being in a prison, but the doors are open to your prison cell and the doors are open to the front door. Then you're not in prison, right? You're free to come and go. You're free to leave your prison cell, go to 7-Eleven and buy a gigantic cup of coffee, or go to Wawa's and get a gigantic cup of coffee. So there really are no prison jobs. So please don't let anybody tell you that you're in a prison job. If you think, like I said before, if you think that you are, then you are. But that's your choice to make. We all have free will and we can make our own choices. We can decide to do something else if we want to. Now, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and I think Tim even said this in the title of his video this afternoon. He said something like, freedom is when you retire at 62. You can't be free. You can't be free to live your life until you're 62 and you retire, or whenever you retire. And I think that's also ridiculous because, it's like making it sound like we can't enjoy our lives until we quit our jobs and take our, couple of $1,000s a month of Social Security. From my perspective, even though I worked for over 30 years, I did have to report to my boss. I did have to ask for time off. But, I never felt like I was not happy. I never felt like I was not living my life. And if we're sitting around just doing nothing, waiting for that date to come when we can retire to live our lives, it's too late because, there's not very much runway left when we get to 62 or 65 or 70 years old. So, I think this is also a mistake to say that we can't live our lives until we can't be free. We can't be free to enjoy our lives until we get to 62. And that's kind of what Tim is suggesting here, that we're in prison jobs, we're miserable. And then, when you get to 62, take my advice and, retire, and then you'll be free. It's ridiculous. I enjoyed every aspect of my life. Now, I was pretty fortunate. I had a lot of good breaks in my life, but I officially retired. I officially left my job when I was, I can't remember how old I was, but it was 2016. So, 8 years ago. And I could have, and I had money. I had some money. My girlfriend and I were running a business at the time, so I had financial resource from there. And I had all the time in the world. I could do whatever I want, whenever I wanted. But, there were times when I had difficulties. I had really hard times. I had severe depression at times. I was, uncertain about my future. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. I was bored a lot of times. So just not having a job doesn't guarantee you're happy. Now, I have lived a pretty happy life, a pretty full life. I've enjoyed my life with my kids. I enjoyed raising my 2 kids, and I'm still enjoying it, even though I haven't worked since 2000 actually since the end of 2015. So, and I did take retirement at 62 because it just made sense for me. It was the right thing to do for me, but because I do have other financial resources and so forth. So, but please don't let anybody tell you that you don't have a right to live your life. Enjoy your life, whatever age you are, and whatever your circumstances are. If you're working a full-time job and you have to work another 5 or 10 years before you retire, then just enjoy your time anyway. All right, my friends, that's all I had to say. I do honestly, I have a couple of other videos kind of related to Sarasota Tim, but I'm not going to be picking on him. I actually like Sarasota Tim. I was first attracted to him. Well, I'll tell you that another time why I was interested and attracted to his website. And I have plenty of other videos to release. I wanted to thank everybody that is subscribed and have commented. There's been a lot of really nice comments. I really appreciate that. It was totally unexpected. And, I only have like 200 and a little over 200 subscribers. It's not a big deal, really. But I do appreciate everybody that did subscribe and everybody that did write nice comments. Because this is my universe, I'm not going to limit my content to just Sarasota Tim or criticizing anybody. I'll be shooting more videos about heart health and, my personal struggles with my heart condition and strokes and things like that, how you can recover from it, what I did to help me along the way to recover my vitality that I have left, at least anyway. I'll be doing some videos on camping. I'm not a winter camper. I just camp in the spring, summer, and fall. I don't like the cold, even though I live in Detroit. So I will be doing some camping videos. I'll show you all my camper when I can get it out of my backyard where it's kind of crammed in and I can't get around the whole thing to shoot a good video. So I'll be doing some camping videos. Some people have asked me to do gear reviews and things like that. I'm not really a gear review person, and I know it takes a lot of effort and work to do good gear reviews, get right camera angles and so forth. But I would like to do some videos about just the stuff that I have, the backpacks that I like, the day packs that I use, the knives that I carry, the flashlights that I use, even the cameras that I use. So I'm going to shoot a variety of videos. There'll be something for everybody. There'll be just kind of driving around, chatting about miscellaneous things and stuff like that as well. So thank you for joining, and please remember, be a good human being, be kind and compassionate. Don't be mean to people, and also be useful and helpful to other people on a daily basis if you can. Okay. Have a beautiful day, my friends. Thank you for joining and listening to this. And if you'd like to comment, please feel free to comment. If you're just coming across this, please subscribe. It gives me more enthusiasm to keep doing these things and helps to get me more excited about it. So if you'd like to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. If you'd rather not, then that's fine. You can like the video and so forth. So anyway, thank you all for joining. See you next time. Bye-bye.